I want to talk about predator prey relations. Now, this is kind of a weird thing, and it's been on my mind a lot lately because there's obviously the things that people that are predatory look for, especially in women and children, maybe in men in prison as well. You know, lack of making eye contact, looking down, general vibe of weakness, jittery, fearful, reacts, pulling back, that it's very obvious. But there's another part that interests me more, and that's what I want to talk about. And I don't know what to call it exactly, but there's this vibe in the air that predatory people will pick up on. I I don't know how it works exactly, but I have two examples. And one of them happened when I was 14 years old. And pretty much all sexual abuse was done by that point. There was still physical abuse going on, but it wasn't the same. It was much more like based in crime and stuff and like the rules of things rather than like beating a child. But I had to go to the dentist once, and I always liked going to the dentist, in fact, because people were nice to me at the dentist. So, like, doctors, dentists, someone like the nurses were usually nice. So I was happy to go because someone was going to be nice. So I always had very positive associations with those places. And this time, the dentist is weird with me. I vaguely remember what he looks like. But he tells the nurse to Novocaine. It would have been the right side of my mouth. And he Novocaines it twice because I'm like hypersensitive. And then he drills the left side of my mouth. And I'm like freaking out. And he has the nurse come in and give him more Novocaine. Once again, they put it on the right side. So, like, the whole of my right is numb, but he's drilling the left side. And to this day, that drill stuff freaks me out. Like, I can't deal with it. And, like, I'm still such a broken child at this point. Eventually, I just give in and accept the pain. It Hearing the drill will almost make me retch. I have to control it now. Even thinking about it like makes me shudder. Dentist drills or that noise they make, it still causes me to shudder. It's the same thing with fingernails and nail clippers. Like from getting stuff put onto my fingernails, like I don't know what to call it, but like chill, like cringe. I not in the popular internet sense, but in the like it does. Like the memory has a physical reaction. Anyway, I didn't think. I thought it was just incompetence, like in the moment. But then I started wondering, like, did this dude know something? Because he seemed to enjoy what he was doing. Like he took pleasure in this, and he like because like they're right up in your face, they're right up in your eyes, and he's watching my eyes, and they're wild because they're in pain and shock, and I wonder if he knew something, and in fact I'm certain he did. He was hooked in with that scene somehow. I have no proof of it, but like he picked up on something with me. Now it was a lot easier to tell I was a damaged child when I was 14. If you had any, like I mean, most people are dumb as bricks, and that's why I call them that. I call them bricks, because they are completely oblivious to anything there's not directly in front of their face, and usually they miss 3/4 of that too. But like something that's going on beneath the surface, it's more than most people can handle. Don't have expectations that people will figure you out. Like, there's a thing people do where they leave like hints of their personality. Like, if they're into bondage, they'll wear like studded belts or like chokers and stuff. Like, people always leave hints to their personality, specifically their sexual fetishes. And I don't know if that's like a self expression thing or if that's like a leaving hints because they want people to find out thing. I I don't know. And it's always like very, very little things, but because it's very, very big to them, they expect people to notice, but people are just oblivious. And like they're not really gonna notice something like that. Like a guy using a girl's razor. Most people aren't gonna know that a guy's using a girl's razor, but a guy leaving a girl's razor blade out in his bathroom, like I know people have done this. Is why I bring it up. But apparently it's relatively common. But the dentist, I believe he knew something. And then there's another example, and it happens when I'm 30 years old. And this is really weird. Like, it makes me very uncomfortable. Okay, so I'm living in a house with my friend, his girlfriend, her sister, and her boyfriend. My friend and his girlfriend. There's a 10-year-old girl, an 8-year-old boy, and then an infant. And my friend and his girlfriend, the only one that's his is the infant. The other two aren't his. And then the girl, the girlfriend's sister and her boyfriend have a toddler. So it's a full house. It's a pretty big house too. And one night it's like 7 o'clock, and the kids are going to bed, and all these kids had difficulty in life. You know, that someone had abused them at some point because they displayed a lot of abusive behaviors. Anyway, the girl would give everyone hugs when she goes to bed, and I was standing alone in the in the front room playing video games. And I'm standing there, and she comes up and she hugs me, yo, and she goes for my hug, dude, like straight, not by like accident. She like pats around for it and then squeezes, and not just squeezes once, squeezes 3 times. I am frozen. Like, I don't know what the fuck to do. This is like a horrifying scenario. And the only thing I remember thinking, like, is this girl obviously has issues. If I like throw her off me, I'm going to make her issues like make a big scene and humiliate her. It's gonna make everything worse. But as soon as she walks upstairs, I put the control down. I pace back and forth in maybe 5 seconds, and then I go up to my buddy's room, and I'm like, yo, your girl just sexually assaulted me, dude. And you need to do something about this. And the girl was abusive to other kids, from what I understand. But what's interesting is like the other two guys that were there, I'm the only one that was dangerous. Like, by a wide, wide margin, I'm the only one that's a threat to anybody else. And she still chose to do that with me. And I'm the one she has the least attachment to. Possibly another reason, but she picked me. And I always wondered, did she pick up on some kind of like victim vibe with me that I haven't like covered up? Because most of that stuff you're never gonna tell. But is there some like primeval, like primitive, primordial, like victim thing that people put out that other people pick up on? I mean, it could all be coincidence. I don't really personally accept that. Like, something was going on there. she picked me for a reason, and I mean it messed with my head bad because I felt disgusted with myself. And what's even weirder about it is like I didn't do anything. So in a sense, she was right almost because like I stood there and took it. Like I didn't even throw her off me. And then I went and told my friend. But like that always I found there was something going on there. Like that's I think there is some vibe. I know that's become popular terminology today, but trust me, I was using it long before because I can't do anything popular because I'm too cool. But I do believe that I was putting something off that she picked up on, and it made her pick me to target. Because the other two aren't guys that are gonna hit you. They're not guys that are gonna stomp you out. They're not like really involved in stuff like that. As to where I was, and she knew that. But that trips me out, man. So like that is what I mean when I say predator prey relations. Like what? Because there's the obvious stuff, but then there's that thing which I can't put a name to, and I really wonder about it. Like the dentist may have been involved with other people who were doing stuff to me and like seen pictures or something. I don't know. But the one with the girl, like she picked up on something and she targeted me. Uh, like I can't tell you the sense of disgust and shame that followed that too. For all different reasons. Number one, didn't do anything about it. Number two, it's just disgusting on its face. Uh, number three, like you were abused by a child. It's like what the fuck? Like what? This is pathetic. But um, obviously nothing ever happened again because they talked to her about it, at least with me and stuff. But it nevertheless made a profound impact on me as far as like there's something going on here, and I'm not clear on what it is. I don't have a grasp of it. I can't see it, and most things I can. And that really bothers me. So that is what I'm talking about and what I've been thinking about with the predator prey relations. And now I'm starting to repeat myself over and over again. So I'm gonna go. Good evening.